Are you ready to stop the self-sabotage and create the life you desire? Well, in order for that to happen, you need to break free from the bad beliefs that are holding your success hostage. You need to optimize the stress by turning it into extra energy for success. And those hurtful habits? Well, we need to give that pain a purpose for progress. Welcome to Stop the Self-Sabotage and Create the Life You Desire podcast.
Which one of these is your favorite? All aboard the crazy train. I can hear Ozzy laughing in the background right now. If you know, you know. How about the struggle bus is boarding now and no seatbelts provided? Or the hamster wheel of worry. See, the crazy train is whenever you engage in a behavior and afterwards you're like, what's wrong with me? Why did I do that? I know better. Or the struggle bus is, oh my gosh, is this not ever going to improve? How long am I going to have to keep repeating this? And the hamster wheel of worry, well, that's pretty self-explanatory. You're going in circles, but you're not getting anywhere. And I firmly believe that should at least burn off some calories, if nothing else. All of this can be summed up as the Hot Mess Express, and it all leads to the destination of self-sabotage. This is what can happen when we try to improve the quality of our life and things go wrong. In our last episode, I talked about the hidden trap of healing, where there's going to be interruption, disruption, refinement, and attack. It's not a question of if. It's a question of when. And when the train, the bus, the wheel runs you over, who's driving it? Who's the real enemy? So think about what's your favorite and then go back to the time when your mind first believed that this was how life needs to be. Ask yourself, what was going on around you that created feelings and thoughts that there was, missing resources, that you didn't have the skill set or the competency. Maybe there wasn't maturity in place. How old were you? What was so overwhelming that your critical factor collapsed? Your critical factor is known as the conscious mind, and this is the part of you that decides whether or not to accept or reject an experience and what it means about you. And when your critical factor collapses, you will accept what's going on in your environment as part of you if it goes along with what you were taught to value. And if you were taught to value overperforming, over functioning for others at your expense, overcompensating and taking on too much, well, then you experienced a helplessness in that situation that became your truth. It is not your fault. But you do have to accept 100% responsibility of reparenting the part of you that is on the train, the bus, the wheel, the Hot Mess Express. And it's not that aspect of you. That's known as an imprint, the experience that you went through. And if it was intense enough or if it was repeated, then a part of your personality actually becomes fragmented and is then frozen at that age. frozen in time, and then gets triggered when something similar comes along. And then you act from that level of focus and feelings and actions, that level you were at when it was first accepted as the truth. So it's not that aspect of you that's causing the problem. And it's not even the person or people from your past who took from you what didn't belong to them that caused all of this. It's the lie that you were told, that you accepted as the truth, and it is here to steal your focus, kill your momentum, and destroy your dreams. It's the lie that's the conductor on the crazy train. It's the lie that's the tour director on the struggle bus. And the lie is that wheel itself. Again, it is here to steal your focus on where you want to go. Kill your motivation of making any progress and then destroy your dreams. And it would like nothing better than you to get into a disagreement with it and try to convince it otherwise. This is a distraction. And it's known as convincer strategy. Convincer strategy is an NLP, neuro-linguistic programming technique. And it basically says, how often do you need to experience something? And how do you need to experience before you're convinced of its truth? And there are a lot of people in today's society that would like nothing more for you to waste your energy in trying to convince them of something else, because then it distracts you from your purpose, your path, your mission, and your vision. Convincer strategy is up to them, not up to you. And the lie that you accepted, it would love to pull you in and pull you off purpose. So, what is the true destination of the Hot Mess Express? Well, let's talk about how you might wind up there to start with. And we use the acronym HALT. Now, HALT, the H can stand for hungry, but also hurt. And the A can be angry or anxious. And the L, lonely, and the T, tired. I'm going to give you an example of what happened to me last night. Right now I'm taking a class on Wednesday nights, but my church said that they were going to have a special healing service. And I shared with you in previous episodes that I fell not quite 3 weeks ago and I've damaged my rotator cuff. I've got an MRI scheduled. I'll be talking to the orthopedic doctor on what needs to be done. And I'm still looking for a miracle. Now, I don't know what your explanation of a miracle is, but mine is that when I go into a situation that tried to steal, kill, and destroy from me, that I'm actually going to come out better on the other side. That is my miracle. And I don't know how my miracle is going to happen. I just know I need to put myself in the position to receive it. Maybe my miracle will come through spontaneous healing. Maybe my miracle will come through medical intervention. It's not up to me. It's up to my higher power. It's up to God. It is my job to get into agreement with it and put myself in positions where it increases the likelihood of that happening. And my church had a healing service. I was going to be there. So went to the healing service, came home. I was exhausted in bed by 9:30. And I'm waking up at 2:00 in the morning in excruciating pain. So much for the spontaneous healing at that moment in time. In fact, the pain was so bad, it took me back to right after the injury had happened. Okay. And so you can imagine that there was a part of me, that younger aspect, that came out and was going, What's even happening here? This was supposed to help us, and now we're hurting worse than ever before. And then all I had to do was wait for a little bit because I knew the lie was going to show up. And that's when the younger me was saying, because she's the one that was present in all the pain, that's when the younger me said, doesn't matter when we try to do anything to make our life better, it always gets worse. Okay. So I'm going to give you the steps that I use, that I also give my private clients to use when you find yourself in an experience where an imprint or a part of your personality has been triggered, and how to flip the switch for your brilliance. And the very first thing that you want to know is that you're going to have to stabilize yourself. You cannot do anything to address the lie at that point in time when you are experiencing halt. Literally, you need to halt and make sure that you're doing things for your autonomic nervous system to feel safe. So you have three brains. You have the brain between your ears. Science has also shown there's a brain in your heart, and there's a brain in your gut. And the brain in your gut will overrule the heart as well as the head. The brain in the gut is going to connect to your vagus nerve. The brain in the gut is going to go, nothing's going to happen here for improvement until we can feel that we're stable. And so I knew that it wasn't just breathing exercises. It wasn't just pain relief. I typically do not take medication, but yeah, I was doing it in the middle of the night last night. Sometimes it also takes a little bit of time. 9 minutes and 52 seconds is how long it can take for you to switch your brainwave state, all the way up to 90 minutes. I gave myself a full 90 minutes to stabilize. And I've been doing this for a while. By the way, sometimes in the beginning, it can take people 72 hours to stabilize. So give yourself the space and the place for that to happen. I also highly recommend that you're working with someone. Why is that? Because identity upgrades, that's what we're trying to do. The part of your personality that has been triggered for nothing but pain, we have to upgrade it to the part of you that knows how to move into progress. And identity upgrades are social experiences. If you could have it on your own, you already would. Okay. So I have my mentor that I work with, and I will be bringing some of these experiences that I've had so we can go through and we can refine and we can see what it is that I can keep and what it is that I need to let go of. Okay. So once you're stable, okay, you're off the crazy train. You've deboarded the struggle bus. The hamster wheel of worry, you decided to take a break. Hot Mess Express, you've put it on idle. Okay, so after you stabilize, now you want to connect with desire. Desire is an aspect of your personality, just like the part of you that holds the pain. Desire, the Latin, sire, means from the Father. This is the aspect of you that is your future self. And she wants to pull you into the future. I don't know about you, but I can either be dragging my past with me or I can have my future pull me. Which one's easier? So desire. She and I are going to have a conversation. Now, desire, she's the aspect of me with my health, with my arm, because that's the area, that's the challenge that I was having. Problems are meant to be solved. Challenge are meant for upgrades. And that's what I was wanting. I was wanting an upgrade. And so she is going to be the aspect of me that is approximately 3 months into the future. You can have all the goals that you want that are a year or 5 years or 10 years. But the subconscious, which runs all of your habits and patterns, and whether it is self-sabotage or success, that's a habit and pattern. Well, the subconscious upgrades. It can upgrade every 13 weeks, every 91 days. So I'm setting it out. Where do I want to be with my arm in approximately 3 months? Oh, what do I want to see? Oh, me back into the activities that I love and working out, moving my body. And what do I want to feel? I want to feel freedom of movement. And what do I want to hear? I want to hear any medical professionals going, oh my gosh, we are so amazed with this progress. We didn't think this could happen. See, that's my miracle. And a lot of people would say, well, what's going to drive me and motivate me for that? Is it going to be the freedom? Is it going to be the achievement? Is it going to be the progress? You can't have that as your driver, because as soon as that's threatened, the driver quits. Okay? And then the crazy train conductor shows back up. So instead, you need your future self as the driver. The whole package, not just what you're going to value, but who you're going to be, because who you're going to be determines your doing, and your doing determines your having. Okay, so I connect with desire. And then the next thing I do is she and I use the acronym of LEAP. And LEAP stands for leverage. So how am I going to leverage this current situation to come out better than when I went in? Because I don't know, the current me doesn't know. The future me, she knows. And so, yeah, help me leverage it. And then the E stands for exponential. See, I don't like incremental growth where, I put in 10% extra and I get 10% back because I get way too bored too fast. Okay. So exponential. I can take an apple seed, plant it, and I don't get an apple back. I get an apple tree. Plant several seeds, I get an entire grove. So I'm looking for exponential growth. How is this going to benefit me? Not just in my health, but with my wealth and my career and my relationships. And what potential am I not even aware of that I'm going to be tapping into because of this? And then A, achievement. How is my life going to be better 3 months from now because of all of this? And then the P is power. What power am I now going to be tapping into and using on a daily basis? So Desire and I had a chat, and what we did was then we used another acronym that is known as www.ebi.ok. This is something that I use with my private clients consistently. And if I knew who to contribute the credit to on this one, because a lot of these things I give you are mine, this one is not. I learned it years ago. I don't know who it belongs to, but it stands for what went well, even better if. Okay? So, Desire and I had a chat to where we replayed yesterday. And she said, tell me what went well with your arm. And so I engaged with her on how I was able to do certain activities and movements on purpose that I know keep my arm lubricated at the shoulder and moving smoothly in a swinging position, a pendulum position. Okay. And then she said, What would have made it even better if? That's the EVI. And I went, oh, well, when I went to the healing service, I didn't engage in a final 20-minute exercise routine, modified aerobics that I do in the evening to keep everything moving. Because whenever I got home from church, I was way too tired. And that's the one that is significant for allowing me to sleep. That's the one that's going to give me the leverage. That's the one that exponential growth is going to be based on, because during sleep is when my body repairs itself. This is what allows me to wake up the next morning refreshed with achievement. This is the one that gives me power. Got it. She's like, okay. So if we continue to do this as often as possible, daily would be best. Where are you going to be at in 3 months with this type of growth? And I'm like, oh my gosh, I can be committed to where my arm is going to be back to normal, because on rotator cuff injuries, they say it's going to be months, but I found the one key that for me unlocks what goes beyond the healing, which is wholeness, thriving, and a life by design. Okay. So instead of saying what's going to drive you, what's going to motivate you, instead, let's put desire behind the wheel. Use these exercises the next time you find yourself spiraling and going, why even bother? Because again, it's not a question of if, it's a question of when these are going to show up. Stabilize yourself, then connect with desire, where you want to be in 3 months in this area of your life. Use LEAP, and then www.ebi.ok. What comes through for you? Use it to bring out your brilliance, and let desire do the driving.